Training in a split stance is truly how you unlock full lower body flexibility, because what you do on one leg has a direct impact on the other. So let me give some examples. In this exercise, as I contract my front leg hip flexors and quads, in order to keep my hips in the same position, there has to be a strong contraction of the glute on the back leg to help maintain hip extension, even though I'm using kettlebells to pull my hips closer to the ground and prevent my hips from coming upwards as I contract the front leg. Therefore, this becomes an end range strengthening exercise for both the front leg and the back. In this example, if I hinge forward, we stretch out the hamstring, but this also gives us an opportunity to straighten out the back knee a bit more because the back hip is slackened. So as we bring the torso back upright, we maintain that new level of hip extension. Same thing if I lean backwards. I can slacken the front leg so I can try to drag my front heel a little bit further forward and maintain that new hip flexion as I come back upright. In an opposite scenario, as I try to pull my back heel to my butt, I'm simultaneously pushing my hips down and forward to create more hip extension. As the leg moves further back into hip extension, it drags the pelvis with it and tips it forward, which pulls on the front leg hamstring to an even greater degree. This is why elevating the back knee and hip extension stretches can challenge the front hamstring earlier on as the pelvis is dragged into anterior tilt quicker. The longer the split stance in our hamstring stretches, the easier it is to maintain anterior tilt. Even though we won't be able to fold as deep due to the lumbar spine being extended from the start, we're able to concentrate that motion at the pelvis tilting over the femur, whereas if we keep the legs together, we can fold further with more contribution from lumbar flexion. When we elevate the front leg, we now challenge the back hip extension to a greater degree. It's going to be more difficult for us to bring the back leg into hyperextension because the pelvis is now pre-positioned in a posterior tilt. However, we feel the back leg hip flexor stretch much earlier on in the range without having to bring the back leg further behind the pelvis. So whether you're training for the splits or not, understanding the impact a stride stance has on each leg will help you find a variation to maximize your hip flexion and extension flexibility simultaneously.